Home Secretary has broken the law. That is at least the allegation that is made in today's newspapers. According to reports in the Sunday Times, Suella Braverman, reappointed to the Home Office by Rishi Sunak just 6 days after resigning for breaching security protocols, broke the law during her previous stint as Home Secretary under Liz Truss. Here's the allegation: that Suella Braverman was warned that asylum seekers were being kept in overcrowded, disease-ridden processing centres for a longer period than is legally allowed. This related to a site in Manston in Kent where asylum seekers are not supposed to be kept for more than 24 hours. Some are being kept there for over 4 weeks. The site houses 2,600 migrants who have been there for more than 4 weeks and is only designed to house 1,600. And because of that overcrowding, in part, we learn there have been outbreaks of diseases like diphtheria and scabies. Now, yesterday it was reported that Suella Braverman had refused to allow some of those very asylum seekers to be moved to hotels because she thought it was too expensive. Instead, she suggested using GPS tracking tags, but was told none are available. According to those reports, some of the people being treated in this way included a family from Afghanistan. So what seems to have happened is this: having managed to flee the tyranny of the Taliban, possibly then having to make a perilous journey across at least 2 continents, the family finally reaches British shores, where they are processed at this centre. The Home Secretary asked whether families like this and others can be issued with GPS tracking tags that are more usually and commonly used for criminals, but is told they can't. It's then suggested that perhaps this family and others like them are moved to safer, less crowded, more private accommodation like a hotel room. Suella Braverman says she doesn't want to foot the bill. This is how we are treating people fleeing the Taliban. This is how we are treating others that are fleeing war, persecution, famine, torture. And it's not a lone example. We know, don't we, that thousands of families who fled Afghanistan are still being housed more than a year on in hotel rooms. We know, don't we, that thousands and thousands of asylum seekers are trapped in a political no man's land, unable to get on with building their new lives because the Home Office, still unfit for purpose in my view, is taking years to process their applications. Now, I wonder what this all makes you feel. I wonder if perhaps like me, it makes you feel slightly sick. It makes me think of a country and a way of doing things and treating people that is very different to the one that I know Britain to be and that I love Britain for. It's not the Britain I know. It makes me ashamed. It makes me embarrassed. I think it's a stain on our country. I think it's a blight on our reputation. I wonder if you agree, or I wonder if you instead think that still feel proud, perhaps, that Britain is taking a tough, hard line, maybe even an illegal approach to its treatment of asylum seekers. 0345 6060 973. I also wonder how much all this matters to you. We have, in recent days, seen the news agenda dominated by stories about Suella Braverman. We have heard a lot less about things like the NHS, and that's a symbol of the past few months, I would say. Politicians have spoken a lot about their tough approach to immigration. Rishi Sunak spoke about it at length over the summer, as did Liz Truss. We heard far more about that than the health service, about housing, about childcare, about the environment. And even since Rishi Sunak took office, there have been tons of reports about how tough he's going to be on channel crossings and small boats, perhaps more than any other policy area. Does immigration, does the questions around migration matter to you in a way that is proportionate to the focus that our elected leaders and politicians seem to be putting on it? Does that make sense to you? Is it that important to you? If so, tell me why. If not, tell me why you think so much political oxygen is being focused on an issue that when voters are asked, only 11% say is a top priority to them. Text me 84850 or tweet at LBC. Now, of course, the context in which we are talking about this is that breaking news emerging from Dover of petrol bombs and fireworks being hurled at a migrant processing centre in that town. Now, if this is the sort of attack it seems to be, and important to say we don't know the motivation at this point, but if it is what some are speculating it could be, it seems to me that that would very well likely be linked to a conversation in this country that day after day, month after month, demonises and dehumanises people who are fleeing a war-torn, famine-strewn countries looking for a better life. Of a debate that treats people fleeing those horrors we cannot imagine, as invaders, as hordes, as animals, as scroungers. Take the word that you want, but we've heard all of those phrases applied to these people.